Hello everybody, it's the Space Bee here, and today we're doing the start of a new, well, almost Let's Play series. Going to do one of my games that I keep coming back to, playing again, coming back to, Sunless Sea with the new Zubmariner expansion. Now this is it's a very roguelike game. I mean, our first captain's going to die, so we're not going to really worry about him too much, but hopefully we can explore some of the map, get some riches, and hopefully get some goodies for our second captain. Now, for those unfamiliar with the whole setting, the whole setting's fall in London. Got this lovely little find out more there. If you get the game and interested in finding more of the backstory, it's pretty much very Victorian horror, very Cthulhu-esque. Very tongue-in-cheek as well. It's quite a fun little universe I've found. And you can see you got this tied-up shark here, and the K-Night is full of foreigners who inexplicably consider London foreign. Don't trust them. So, captains, when you first start the game, click on the lovely new game button. This game doesn't pull any punches, by the way, so be prepared. So first of all, captain's making. 3 decades ago, in the reign of Victoria, London was stolen by bats. Now it lies a mile below the surface. It was dreadfully inconvenient for everyone, but it opened a vast black ocean to you. Welcome to the Untersee, being the underwater sea. Now here, you get 2 choices. You can either choose your past, decide who you were and what you want to be, or you can decide later, which is basically just want to jump on in and play, but it's always best to choose a past because you get some bonuses. So we'll go with that. So choose a past. So decide who you were and what you want to be. You're now lodged in a room with a blind helmsman. That's where you go to recover some of your stats, because if you look in the corner here, you've got terror. That's very important. That's fuel. That's how many fuel barrels you got. That's how hungry your crew are. Don't let that run out. They start eating each other. Or you. So who were you? Now you're a captain. Now you belong to the Untersee, but who were you before? A street urchin. It's got bonus to veils, a skill of subtlety and evasion. So your urchin gang cast you out when you grew too tall, you took to sea rather than graduate to larger crimes. That last big score was enough to buy a ship. You could be a poet, educated and articulate, you seek sensation at sea. How lucky you had a legacy to spend, your long vanished father had a rich patron it seems. This will give you a bonus to pages, a skill of trickery and knowledge. Now these are all your different stats up here, so iron is basically like how much damage you do when fighting. Mirrors, basically how well you can lock onto things. Veils, stealth, secrecy, staying hidden from nasty creatures. Pages, secrets, basically how fast you level up. Secrets are used to buy things in certain ports. Hearts is how much health you have, and it lowers how much terror you get overall. That's you at the moment and your little ferret pet thing. Hi, little ferret. Anyway, back to choices. Veteran of the campaign of 68. You fought an invasion of hell. London's armies lost. You survived. Your loot and your pension have brought you a command. It's going to give you a bonus to iron. The skill of causing direct damage. That's quite a good one to go for. To start with, we'll read the others, but we're going to go for the veteran. An ordained priest. You fell from grace. There is nothing left ashore for you. An anonymous benefactor has found this way out for you. Perhaps at sea you can overcome your appetites. This will give you a bonus to hearts and skill of healing and morale. Well, that's a bit ominous. Overcome your appetites. Lastly, a natural philosopher. Your peculiar theories on time, blood and starlight brought you down to the Neath, the cavern where London lies, and now they take you out to sea. This will give you a bonus to mirrors, a skill of dissection and perception, so looking onto things. But we're already going to be a veteran of the campaign of 68. So we already know that bit. Stern and exacting. They will not trifle with you. You promise a job to your acquaintance, a shady cook. He'll do until you find someone less disgusting. And there's a shady cook. He increases your health. He also has his own little mission to do. So you're a really weary soldier, now you're a Z captain. Your stranger quality is gone, welcome to the world. You've gain 20 echoes. Echoes are the currency displayed there, so we used to buy things. And you've gained 25 iron. New total 50. You also have a shady cook, and somebody's looking for passage. That's to take you off to one of the nearby lands. So you probably guess I played this game quite a bit. It's one of my favourites. So, why are you going to sea? Basically, how do you win the game? So you've either got your father's bones, your father was lost at sea, you never knew him but you've often dreamed of him, find and return his remains to London for a decent burial. Immortality, eternal life sounds like something you'd enjoy, and it's said that the presbytery, the rule of the elder continent, has lived forever. Unlocked with one under the Untersee. I have one. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that, I'm recovering from a bit of a cough at the moment. So, fulfillment, gather 100 tales, learn all you can of the Z, write a masterpiece, retire. I've not done that one. Wealth, you know how it is to be poor, now you want a mansion, servants, fine clothes, family perhaps? No. Private kingdom, you can't actually have that one left, but you can actually change your ambition later on. So I always find your father's bones a good one because you get favours with the Admiralty which send you around the place. Which is great for getting exploration. So there we've got our little ambition. And then we go more on the character. It's going to be Madam, Sir. This is how people will address you. Madam, Sir, Citizen, My Lord, My Lady, Captain. I always go with Captain. It's nice, gender neutral. Could be anybody in charge. Though, now we get to pick our little mask. And I think well, it doesn't really matter because the first captain will probably die horribly, so we'll go with this one because he's come prepared. We're going to call him the Snackrifice. And there we go. Actually into the game. These pop up whenever there's something interesting around. So your father's bones, a cold trial. 1 week ago, the Dark Spectacle Admiral. 1 week ago, the Admiral grew incautious after one brandy too many in the Parthenaeum Club. I'm going to butcher half of these names. He made reference to your father's deplorable end and expresses regret that you had not prevented it. You are not a member of the Parthenaeum, but the head waiter once served in your regiment. So, unlocked when your memory is a soldier. That's how we unlock it. The Admiralty. You meet your friend, the head waiter, and learn that the Admiral has not returned since. Perhaps he regrets his outspokenness. You have to find him in his lair at the Admiralty. So win 3 levels of Admiralty's favour and visit the Admiralty Surveys office to speak to the Admiral. Best way to win that is visiting ports, which also gets you some supplies. So I've got our lodgings. So you can check that. Just basically retells you what. Gives you a bit of a reminder. Perhaps not takes you back. Your lodgings takes you to your room. Morning papers. Recent news is used to unlock new things. So the Echo Bazaar, the enigmatic marketplace, has increased its tax on love stories. The traitor empress has forbidden singing in the street outside a palace. The anarchists of the Calendar Council have inexplicably dynamited the drinking fountain. The Ministry of Protective Decency is located and destroyed a nest of gold blighter wasps. Sometimes I'll say a certain merchant is having a sale, and after you've read that, if you go to that merchant, you'll get money off. Now, a few of these will be locked because we don't have the right things we need, like visiting your study. We don't have a elegant townhouse. Don't have enough money to purchase a townhouse. Need 1,000 echoes. Can't retire. You also need a townhouse for that. So, advice for captains. This is a book that you pick up. Now, I've read through all of these. So, once you've read it through, best thing to do is go right to the bottom, sell this book. You get 50 echoes for it. Great way to get that. Zubmariner tutorial just tells you where to go to get the submarine parts. Because you don't start off as a sub, you're just a surface vessel. And I wouldn't advise going for the sub parts until you've played for a couple of hours at least and have the next ship up. So what should we do? Passenger! You've agree to carry the unsettled salvager to Venderbite, which is the tomb colonies. Basically where people in Fallen London go to die, though they don't ever actually die unless they're lost at sea or some other calamity. Natural life is very long. So she visits Wolfsack every day in Z-stained rags, begging for passage, no captain will look her in the eye. Welcomed aboard, she embraces you, I'd kiss you, but my beloved is prone to jealousy. We're parted, but the ancient captains at Venderbite will know where she is. So bound for Venderbite, and welcome! So we'll go and explore London. So visit the Admiralty Survey Office, this is where you can go and pick up some missions. So ask if there's anything particularly well, if it can be assured of your discretion. So you get this when you've got no commission and you've got no more than 2 favours. Speak to our, so this port, speak to our agent there in return, we'll see what you're awarded. It says visit the port below and return to London. You can check the details in your journal at any time. So retrieve strategic information from Galer's Moorn in the Corsair's Forest, somewhere not far from Ho Waters. Now the thing is, the map in this changes, so although it says not far from Home Waters, that could be anywhere to the east, because London is always on the very west of the map, roughly around the centre. So that, you need some favours, so you can ask, but it won't get you anywhere, and then we can leave. Now we can't visit the university yet because we don't have any invitations. So a lot of places you need to get invitations, which are done just by playing the game. So can hire on more crew, but we've got a good amount. I always say about just above 3/4 of your crew is a great one. So offer passage to a tomb colonist. We're already off to Venderbite, so we may as well take that one. Nothing else we need to do, so perhaps not. So now we go to the little Gazetta here, so we go to hold, tells you what our ship is, a Sojourner, Legia class steamer. This is how much damage we do to different things, so like to ships, to sea beasties, killing crew, how long it takes to lock on, and the stagger amount is basically how long it delays their target lock on you. These are the different slots you've got to fill out your ship with, and this is what's in our hold at the moment. So journal is where you can check our little missions. Tells you different things. Officers, you can talk to your officers, just right click on him. So speak to, you can ask him why he went to sea. So he looks. So why did the Shady Cook choose to go to sea? Frrr. Looks you directly in the eyes. Seoli. He repeats it more slowly. Sea of Lilies. He licks his lips very slowly. Eventually you have to look away. The Sea of Lilies is somewhere in the east central Untersee. So you've got to take him to a place called the Sea of Lilies. But that's a long way to go. So shops. This is where you can stock up for things. Now one thing to do is find someone selling mushroom wine. There we go, because you make a good profit in Venderbite with this. So about 5 will do. We got 5? No, we got 4. So 5. These are all the different things, like she gives you provisions and fuel and that. This is just like a general market. This is where you can buy guns, ammunition for like torpedoes, various kind of gun mounts. This is where you get some like higher quality guns that do better damage against certain things. That's where you get and upgrade your engines. You also get secure compartments that help with certain missions. And this is for your lamp, because it's very dark underwater. So here we have London. We'll check the map first. See, nothing. London's always in roughly like central central west. So you lovely press E to launch, different things are pause with a space bar, map with the M, Gazetta, which is this thing, with G, and options you just press escape for. So, let's go. Now you've got your little boat, it's just standard WAS controls, but as you can see in the top left corner, doing WRS speeds and slows you up, slows you down. You don't have to keep it held down. And also I'd advise turning your light off because it does burn fuel. So as you can see, it's going down steadily. Now you've got all these different buttons, so you can repair, which costs a lot. Power to engines, which is if you want to escape, and you've got a bat. Now the bat goes out and finds things nearby, like it would find Hunter's Keep, as it says in the corner here. Oh, excuse me. And I ram straight into the island. Go me. Try to keep the coughing to a minimum. So your terror's slowly going up, but let's stop at Hunter's Keep. So Hunter's Keep, a hump of dark rock swathed in mist like 100 other Untersee islands. So let's present yourself. You got the option. Well, let's read it out first. A hump of dark rock swathed in mist like 100 other Untersee islands, but here's a grand house. Windows aglow, lawns impossibly green and lush in the false starlight, raked gravel paths. You stand on the dock at the sea as the sea nudges the ship's sides. An unexpectedly warm breeze carries the faintest trace of lavender. Shopsons, present yourself at the house. They've heard your ship come in. Why hide? Walk in the gardens. Take a couple of burly sailors with you just in case, but the gardens are tranquil as moonlight. Reconnoitre the island. Plunging cliffs, soft green lawns are well tucked away in affordable grounds. Anything else? Now this will get you port reports, which you can give into the Admiralty for favours. And you can spy on the house, but we don't want to. Oh, coughing again. So knock and enter. A maid with smouldering topaz eyes shows you into the parlour where 3 young women wait. A visitor, the youngest cries. The next youngest chuckles, the eldest sighs. Do excuse the indecorum, she says. Visitors are rare. You are very welcome. I am Cynthia. The noisy one is Phoebe. The cheerful one is Lucy. You're in good time for lunch. Will you join us? So distant bells. When this lights up here, you get an event next time you get into port. Now the best one to go for is Lucy, because she gives you supplies and lowers your terror. But I wasn't very terrorful. So Lucy, the middle sister, is sunless, sunny, restless, prone to giggles. A daft tale. Lucy leans over and whispers to you confidently a complex story about a butler, a pig, and an inheritance. You don't follow all the details of but somehow the pig ends up in the attic and the butler in a vicar's bed. Candles flicker, dishes enter and leave, and the wind butts gently at the window panes. By the time the plum pudding arrives, you're as cheerful as you've been in months. So that's all for now. You're acquainted with the Sisters of Hunter's Keep. You've gained 1 supply, you've lost 28 hunger, and you have the Gods of the Zee. One of their attention. And all of you couldn't do it again, but we have some news. And this stage is worth doing it. So I've not actually done Phoebe before, so I'll start with Phoebe. Oh, that's interesting. Right, let's read it out. Phoebe has a story to tell of 2 lovers parted by water, of a raven that carried messages, of a fragment of the moon. She beats time on the table as she speaks as if to a song only she can hear. The effect is hypnotic. Your attention drifts out through the starlight of the dining room to the false stars glittering on the roof of the cavern. You drift like a puffball spore. The Untersee shimmers below, islands lie like mineral specimens on black velvet. Ships bob like wood chips between the islands. Vast spined things pulse in the depths. There is a scent like the scent before a storm. The storm came, Phoebe said quietly. Everything changed. Somewhere in there, you finish the last course. The Scarling Maid wants you serve cheese and Bath Oliver biscuits. So you have one memory of a distant shore. You're acquainted with the Sisyphanter's Keep. You've gained one more supply. Fragments, rain and change, which are these things here. And Storm has his attention on me. So there is no shop here, no shipyard or anything, so let us be off. Back north to Venderbite. So you can check the map, that actually tells you can dock somewhere. There's this area here, under the water. So I'll send out the bat. No islands within the Z-Bat's range. Now the map is... Oh, I think we're going to get into a fight. Yep, let's get into a fight. Now that exclamation mark means it's about to fire, especially when it does that. You can see our little gauge here. And you just press the corresponding number key to fire. So for the main cannon, it's number 1. You've probably heard the change in the music. The map is split into different sections, and each time you move into a new section, it changes. So, let's have a look. You've destroyed a pirate steam pinnace. The ship is yours. What will you do with her? Loot and scuttle her. She's a vile old vessel and these Z's aren't safe. Take what you can and move on. So, lean pickings. These pinnaces don't sail far from the hidden harbours, but there's something at the back of the hold. Finish opening a cache of curiosities. Stout crates. Crates, a source of sustenance, fundamental element of cargo. Open it up. We have gained 5 supplies. Hardtack and water and an unexpected box of nails. A would-be wit remarks that the nails look tastier than the hardtack until an officer's glare silences her. You see the all clear button, gets rid of that. Notice I'm still sailing with my light off to conserve fuel. We've got a good bit of supplies now. So each new area you discover gives you some fragments which are used to level up with. Now this is a new one in Zubmariner, because you can click on that and it'll highlight the island on your map. Makes it easier to sail to. So dock. You've brought this decaying immigrant north, now what? One last fight, your passengers have been drinking. Ahoy, she chortles, defend yourself. She launches a tipsy assault, your crew hang back chuckling. Thanks, crew. Straightforward challenge. Your iron's quality gives you a 100% chance of success. So we fight. Tomb colonists have a lifetime of bitter experience. Some of them are the deadliest combatants under the earth. Possibly this one is, when she hasn't drunk quite as much rum. You'll never know. She salutes you, laughing after you disarm her. Good fight, she opines, and she staggers backwards and falls over the side. You never do find what happened to her, but at least you have a rather magnificent cavalry sabre and her belongings. So you succeeded in an iron challenge, you brought 2 colonists to Kendblight and defeated them in an unexpected duel. You have 1 outlandish artefact, which is where you can go to the academy in London. I've gained an iron point. I've lost my tomb colonists, and I've gained 2 more supplies. So we continue. We go to the shop first, and we'll sell the mushroom wine. So you don't make much of a profit, but it is worth going. So story. Tomb colonies. Find ancient captains to speak of the unsettled salvager. What were dreams of a lady 1 and dreams of a lady... No more than 1. That's a new one. So we'll do that one. Terrible bad luck. An assortment of decrepit sea captains gathers around her, compelled by tradition, honour or boredom. She picks her nails and closes her eyes when at last she speaks, I want to find Lady Black. The captains that can run do, the rest shuffle away swiftly as they're able, only one remains behind. How long were you down there, he asks. 20 minutes, she replies. The captain puts his hand on her shoulder. Seek the house of the keel in Polythreme, he says, but if you can forget her, do. It's possible. He embraces her and departs. So bound for Polythreme. So we're going to take her to Polythreme next. So I can't do that one. I'm only going to read out the ones we can do. So explore Venderbite, hear the favour candle light over gaslight. The shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists still stand though to be... Sorry, dry throat. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture until they laugh or cough. One building in 3 seems abandoned. Let's see if there's anything more. Well, that's something awaits you. Don't want to do that yet. Or do we? Yes, let's do it. Explore Venderbite. Saving game. Here they favour candlelight over gaslight. Shadows are swagged like cobwebs. The tomb colonists stand still enough to be mistaken for sculpture. Well, we know that one already. Creepers climb the shattered pyramid, and Owl blinks at you from an idol's mouth. In the undergrowth, the cave lizard munches decorously on white cricket. This place seems peaceful. Rest a while. I only need 1 supply, so we'll do that one. Ooh, we lost some terror. Soon your comrades find stones to perch on and munch liver bread, truffles and herring. Someone passes a bottle of Greyfields, inadequate vintage, white crickets buzz in the weeds, shiverwind passes, and then the air is still. With that absence of chill that passes for warmth down here, 2 sailors compare tattoos. Your head swims pleasantly with the wine. So we'll continue. Oh, we go back there. So we'll visit the Grand Curator, and this gives us a very long quest that can get us some good rewards. So no more light, the ubiquitous steward cautions you. The Curator is terribly afraid of moths. He opens the door and you step into the darkness. A pair of luminous lamplighter bees buzzing in a lattice ivory tube. There is no other source of light. A bandage shape no larger than a child lies crumpled on a couch. It lifts his head with obvious effort. It takes several seconds for you to distinguish its voice from the soft buzz of the bees. Listen to the whispered request. Z Captain, Silkskin, not much left of me, I will go. Into the Grand Sanatorium. Bring me colours, 7 colours. Pay well. Bit of an ominous request. So 7 colours. Cosmogon, Irigo, Pelicans, Steward has list. Find them here and there across the wide black Z. So accept the commission. Now this gives you clues as to where to find these difficult colours. So I don't need to do that anymore. That one is best done for a larger ship, but read it out. The last tour operator. Ho, Captain, I have 12 sad and bandaged souls here that are choosing the final fate. We will take them one last diversionary tour. It may be a longish trip. Make sure you have enough supplies. This role plays 12 supplies with 12 tomb colonists who we need to take to 3 destinations in the Untersea. Mouse over your objective tomb colonist quality to learn the destination of each visit. Best done later. So we'll gather our port report. So who's plotting what out in the tomb colonies? So along the coast of the Untersea it's remarkably hard to die. The decrepit and nearly dead who leave London become tomb colonists and settle here in bandaged peace. But they don't give up their ties to home or their politics. You gather a haul of complex clues, enough to keep your contacts in London interested. So I've got a port report, Venderbite. That's what you can get if you do the colours quest, but you can get a better ship by then. And with that we will head back on the London direction, but we'll send our bat out quite a bit. So let's check the map. You spend a lot of time in this game going back and forth from the map. Now that there is a sea beastie. It's underwater at the moment. A lot of this game is just peaceful sailing around. You do have to keep your wits about you though, because you could get attacked at any moment. Now we're not going to go straight back to London. We're going to try and gather one more port report. So I'll head this way for about a minute or so. Fire off the bat again. No islands. Back to the map. Send the bat out one more time. Now I've moved into a new zone of the map. One last fire at the bat. Ooh, Pigmote Island is some distance to the northeast. We'll come back to Pigmote Island because it's rather a difficult one. We're actually near a lighthouse as well. Let's see where we are now. That's where we wanted to head for the mission. So if we check the map, it's just appeared there. So down we go to Gader's Morn. Gader's Morn is basically a corsair and pirate hangout. Pay the loitering docker. This is for the mission from the Admiralty. So Admiralty sent to you, price has gone up, it's not safe here, you'll pay the difference, won't you? No, I should read the start bit. The Mon is a stalagmite, vast as a crag, at its foot is no safe, and its foot is no safe harbours. The Corsair citadel nestles halfway up. An intricate set of winches takes a strain, and your ship rises slowly from the sea. A hull creaks in protest, grizzled sailors groan and cling to stanchions. Higher, higher. Now the Untersee shimmers like glass below, children clamouring in crevices cheer and wave alarmingly. A winch motor slows and you hang in a cradle next to a red-bowed pirate cutter. So pay the man for his information, because we'll get quite a bit back from it. We'll explore the Morn. So we'll try the prawns. So lose terror. Lost hunger. I know I'm going a bit fast, but I'm only supposed to be spending about half an hour in each episode, and we passed that about 5 minutes ago. Let's try that. Another afternoon at the Arrant Limpets. Oh, cold shoulders. Don't want to gather intelligence because it's a high risk challenge. I'll come back. Anything less than 70%, I don't chance it. So bad things happen. And yes, I know this is the first captain and he's gonna die, but you want to keep him around for as long as possible. So we're going to head back to London and hand in our stuff, and then we'll call this first episode done. So we can discover anything on the way back. Now these are lighthouse ships. They're pretty good if you want to gather up some quick fuel and that, especially if you've got recent news. Now we've found another place to dock to there, which I think is actually worth going to before we head back to London. Oop. Sea beastie. Big crab on the surface. There's a... that's a pirate frigate. I don't want to fight him. Ideally don't want to fight either of these until later on. So we'll dock. Quakers Haven. So we'll explore the shore. Do you want to explore the shore? Oh, this is how we get our port report. Just trying to remember how. So, port report. Explore the shore. So, driftwood. An outlandish artifact. That's quite good. They can be sold for quite a lot of money, those. So I could pick up a cat, but cat's horrible. Ferret's better. You get better little pets, well, mascots later on. I think we're near the funging station, is it? Oh, no. No. There's another island with a similar bit like that. So I think we should kill the crab. The crab likes to charge, so the best thing to do is like, oof, try and get behind him and stay there. So he doesn't do much damage, but you never want to take damage really. That was a rather poor battle from me. So we can dissect it from those, but supplies. Anything that lowers hunger or terror is best. So heading back to London. And into the main dockyard. And docked. So I click message from the harbour master. All the clatter and sung on the dockside. As soon as it's all, are the messages for you? What's this? Let's see. Something has changed underneath. Someone wants to sign on. You've won another Friday evening. The Rose Market is open as well. Let's carry on. This is the dodgy geezer. He does have you hauling contraband, but it is very profitable and it is very good to do so. So, a little gift. Very fine evening to you, Captain. My what you might call mentor is very fond of adventurous sea captains, and he would like to offer you what you might call a dispensation on account of he is so fond of sea captains. Behind the blind bruiser on the dock stands a dray piled high with fuel and supplies. Inquire further. Who is their patron? Is there a catch? He runs a very fine and liberal establishment just across the river, what is much patronised by sailors and by men of wit and vinegar. A public house, and there is no obligation to speak of. My patron would hope only that you might remember him kindly, and I suppose that if the opportunity should arise for you to return his kindness, and I do not imagine he would refuse your offer. Accept it. So again, fuel, supplies. You are under suspicion as well. So, Courteous Nod. Well, my patron hopes that you find these little gifts to your liking, and he expects that perhaps someday you might choose to call and aim at the Medusa's head. Should that day come, we will make you very welcome and give you any safe conduct what you might require. Good evening to you. He salutes and is gone. So, lodgings. Read the morning papers. Get the news. Saves the game. And I actually think that's quite a good place to end it here. So thanks for joining me, everybody, and we'll hopefully be doing one of these every week or so. Can't really say when during the week, but they're going to be about half an hour an episode apart from this one. We're getting started. Thanks for joining me, and be good to each other.